When I first came to Go for Broke National Education Center, one of my goals was to create and nurture a cadre of young adults, a group of individuals who would care for and protect the Nisei veteran story, who would connect with it in their own unique generational way, who would be the ones to carry the story into the future. We now have this group. We call them the Torchbearers.
Hey, I'm here at Far Bar in Little Tokyo, and apparently the Torchbearers are inside having breakfast. So let's go find out why Go for Broke National Education Center is so important to them.
Hey, thank you everyone, and thank you to Far Bar for having us here, and look at the spread, and really it is a multicultural breakfast. So let's dig in and have a good conversation. What would you want your children to know about this story?
As our country gets more diverse and hopefully more accepting, that heroes come in all shapes, sizes, races, gender.
These guys who kind of look like us, 18, 19 years old, volunteering for service for a country that didn't trust them, imprisoned them, and they said, I'm gonna do my duty to my country.
They gave up a lot. I'm able to enjoy now, like being able to go to college and go to grad school and have the career that I want to.
The story of internment or incarceration in veterans, we just assume that they know. A lot of times when we are doing workshops, you realize, oh my God, they have no clue. Maybe didn't even realize that a family member, right, was connected to a particular story.
I remember when I first heard that, most highly decorated unit, oh, something's wrong with this. It just didn't fit my worldview as a 10-year-old kid about who Japanese Americans were in America, right? And then to embrace it and say, damn, we were bad. You know, these guys did something nobody else did. For your generation, for your age, for your background, for your experiences, what does this story mean to you?
You know, we can take the vets as inspiration for others who might be in communities that do face racial discrimination. So, you know, I think it's a very important story to tell.
I'm lucky that I had this entry point, which was my family, but I think anybody can come on board because it's clearly like a really fascinating story.
Heck, we're at a restaurant right now in Little Tokyo owned by a third-generation Japanese American, right? If these guys hadn't done what they had done, would he be able to own this space, you know? Or would this space not even exist? Would Little Tokyo not exist? A lot of it stems from this story of grit, sacrifice, and just commitment to your family and your community, and honestly, like allegiance to your country.
Some of the emotions I had growing up being a mixed person, I thought I was being dramatic, but then hearing, you know, all these other people's stories, bonding over that shared trauma.
One of my sorority sisters had said to me, like, who do you think is more American? And she pointed to herself and then a friend next to her. It was like I was not American. At that moment, like, I felt so liberated because I just let loose. I think I actually might be more American. Did your grandpa fight for the US ever? No? Well, mine did.
Being fourth generation or Yonsei is like, I see myself more as American than Japanese. My uncle passed away. I found out in his obituary, you know, that that he had served. Sorry, give me 1 second. I found out in his obituary that he had served, and I think that at that moment, I don't think I've been more proud to say that I was Japanese American. Sorry.
No, man, you know, you are carrying on the best of your grandparents, and in doing so, you keep their legacy alive. So while they made you proud of being Japanese American, I think you make us proud. You are the American dream that they came here for.
The legacy of the Nisei veterans is really fighting for the future of those they love, but also those that they would never know.
The story doesn't change. I think the way that we tell it is going to change.
Clearly, you do not need to have a veteran in your family to identify with the story. You don't need to be Japanese American to identify with the story. You only need to appreciate the values of courage, sacrifice, and obligation to others to identify with the Nisei veteran story. The folks that you just met are the essence of Go for Broke National Education Center and the work that we do. As Emiko said at the Far Bar, the legacy of our Nisei veterans was in fighting for the future of those they loved and those they would never know. Okage-sama de. Because of them, we are. Because of them, we will continue to be.